हा आता बाबूजीचे नक्शा बनवतो. बाबूजीचे उसका नक्शा बनवतो. ये बाबूजीचे हे बघा बाबूजीचे नक्शा. बाबूजीचे नक्शा. इसके ऊपर गिरवा लगाओ. लगाओ इसको. बस क्या तोंड व्हायचं. हा तोंड व्हायचं. अरे जास्ती पाणी गेला धुवायचं. हात धुवायचं, तोंड धुवायचं. जास्ती पाणी गेला बंद कर. तोंड धुवायचं लावायचं. तोंड धुवायचं.
धुवायला चालल्या नग सोडू नका.
खाता जाईल
काय
खाता जाईल मी.
हा खाटावर जाईन म्हणतो.
खाता जाईल मी. खाता जाईल मी.
जाताना हा बाबूजीच्या हातात धरून जा. हा
जाईल
तिकडे बघा फोटो काढायचा ते पा ते पा
काढला.
ओके.
काढला फोटो.
माझा नाही काढला. हे बाप्पा माझा नाही काढला.
नाही काढला.
सांगा ना सांगा ना.
जाऊन
सांगा ना बाबाजी सांगा ना. इकडे इकडे करा इकडे करा करा इकडे 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 इकडे. हा हा 2 मिनिट 2 मिनिट. हा हा हसा.
आता
तोंड नका वाचू. हसा.
हातलं हातलं
हसले का.
हा
हा
हातलं
खलत त्याला धुवा तोंड खरकाट तोंड नाही त्याला मी धुते. धुवा मी धुवून येते बर का. हा मी धुवून येते.
मी फुल्ला करेन. फुल्ला करेन.
जाऊ का.
काय फुल्ला करेन.
मी धुवून येते.
पाणी पिओ. तोंड धुवायचं. एकदम धुवायचं. जास्ती पाणी. जास्ती पाणी गेलं बाबाजी. तोंड धुवायचं बंद कर.
बंद कर.
हा
केलं बंद. केलं बंद. आता मला
चलो चलो.
आता मला खाता फोटो.
चलो बाबाजी.
खाता खाता
एक मिनट हाँ बाकी साफ कर बाकी एक मिनट हाँ हाँ
ये तो है
हाँ हेलो मी हेलो मी said I'm giving you my hand. Come. चलो बाबा जी
खाता खाने की जेली खाने की जेली
वापस कौन वास्ता rendevzous saka yujo remasteringka
चलो जेली खाने
game the machines machines salah nikah kemashi dari jo kemashi ya hello gadihan ya tidak
itu juga
चांगले चांगले ने आती बेटी चांगले हैं चांगले With Muhammad. Like the first time I met him, what happened? This bench here is like some of the other furniture. It's been here from Baba's time, years and years and years. Probably from the 30s. So, should I relate the first time?
Yeah.
That's a good place to begin. So the first time I met Muhammad Mast was 1971. And at that time he was a lot more irritable because he would be more absorbed. He would gaze at certain things for half an hour, 45 minutes at a time, and if he was disturbed during that, he would shout at you, tell you to go away, give you some abuse. You're mad, or you're a sweeper, means someone that cleans the latrine. You're a sweeper from Madras or something. He had several abuses. So people were reluctant to come near him. They would often shout at them. They shouted at me a few times, so I was reluctant to go near the bed. But one day he was out on the back veranda here with the sink. And is this the camera?
Mm-hmm.
He was out at the sink, so I thought to myself, here's a good opportunity to go in and see what pictures of Baba are near his bed. But I'll be careful not to touch anything, so I went in there and looked around. Then I looked at his table. There were a few things on it. Soap dishes, his sandal. And I was taking care not to touch anything, not to disturb anything in any way. And just as soon as I had that thought, I better not touch this, he would be upset. Suddenly I look out the window and I see him coming very quickly. Tuck, 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 tuck. He bends over, but when he walks, it's almost like a slow run. Then I quickly stepped back to the center of the room. He immediately went over to this table and started looking at every item on the table, looking at me, turn to me, then he would turn back to the table, look and see if anything had been moved, then turn to me again. And it was very obvious that he knew that I had been over there and that I was thinking that I shouldn't touch these things or change their order or anything like that. Then the next time I saw him was when I came to live in 1974. And he has gradually, over the years, become more and more solid or conversant with what's going around. He doesn't gaze at things for long, long periods of time as he used to. He's a little more conversant with people, and although everything he says is not intelligible, much of it is. And I do remember a conversation that Padre had. He would not eat for days and days. And Padre would be concerned that he didn't go too many days. once over 50 days, and he would also go for days without sleeping. So it was also his habit when he would break his fast to overeat. There would be either one extreme or the other. So Padre would have to also temper the amount of food that he would eat. He'd make himself sick. If you read in the Wayfarers, at one time he ate 12 plates of rice and dal in sitting. So Padre would give him ample food, and he would ask him every day, "Are you full? Is your stomach full?" And he'd say, "Well, there's a little space left." Because he wouldn't want to say he was full, because then he was afraid that Padre might cut his food. "Well, there's a little space left." So one day Padre says to him, "How is it that you eat so much every day and your stomach never gets full?" And he replied, "Because there's a hole in the bottom." In 1978, I was able to watch him even more. In 1982, when Padre expired, I went from a room over there, and they moved me into his old room, so I would be able to hear Muhammad in the night, and there would be many times he would get into a mood of singing, and he would sing in the daytime, and he would sing all night long. His own unique rhythm, the song was unique, and the lyrics were completely unusual. It might be, he likes to sleep with all the lights on, and if there's a power failure, of course the lights aren't on, and he asks, why aren't the lights on, and explain to him there's no lights. So one night he sang for an hour or two that the lights have gone, over and over again. Sapet light means the white light, the fluorescent tube in there he calls the white light. The white, sapet light gela, sapet light gela. Sapet like gela, that kind of a rhythm, repeatedly, and it was really a delightful time. A number of weeks he was in that mood of singing. Oftentimes he'll call me from my room. Just ask me to stand in a certain place. No, not here, stand a little bit back. One thing I've noticed with myself and with other people also is that when you stand, he doesn't like you to cross your arms like this. Or if you're sitting, he doesn't like you to cross your legs like this. He wants you to keep your hands down and legs straight when he's looking at you. Sometimes he will ask to see your hand. He'll hold your hand like this, grab your hand by the fingertips and look and look. And this can go on for as long as half an hour. And you say, I have to go, I'm getting tired, my back hurts, or my legs are starting to hurt. And you try to kind of humor him like a child, saying that, now I have to go, I have to make these little excuses. And he'll say, yes, I'll give you a release. I'll let you go, But that I'll let you go, it doesn't come right away. It's another 5 minutes, another 10 minutes. And he really is childlike in many ways. And when he's in a good mood, it's like sunshine smiling. He's just delightful to be with when he's in that good mood. Somebody might humor him like Eric Nadel or Alan. And he enjoys that. Enjoys it a lot.
What about that story about Heather? I mean, it's just a little thing, but I think it's in the middle of the night.
Oh, this happened a couple of weeks ago. Well, he can't pronounce Heather, so he calls her Hazrat Bai. And from time to time, different people are given duty by him to open these doors in the morning, close them in the evening, turn the lights on. So the last year or so, it's been Heather's duty to come when he calls her in the morning and open the door and turn the lights off. So I'm in my room, and you can hear things through the wall quite easily, and I hear him calling her, Hazrat Bai, oh Hazrat Bai, Hazrat Bai. It's like one of these alarm clocks that keeps going and going and going till you turn it off. Because he never gets tired of that repetition. We start to get tired, and his mind doesn't tire like our mind does. He just repeats and repeats and repeats and repeats. So I hear this call from him, Hazrat Bai, and I look out the window and I said, it's awfully dark. I said, it couldn't be 6:30 in the morning. This is very unusual. So finally, Erica, who is sleeping outside here on the veranda, gets up, and I look at my watch. It's 12:30 in the morning. So Erica comes in there and says, Hazrat Bai Dopla, Heather is sleeping. And he repeats, Hazrat Bai Dopla, Hazrat Bai Dopla, she's sleeping. She's sleeping. Yes, it's the middle of the night. Oh, Heather's sleeping. Hazrat Bai Dopla. Yes. Oh, okay. You go then. He had no idea, what time it was. I'll relate a story that happened several years ago. I was on my way to the latrines, and at that time we had to take the water from outside the latrine in a small can and take it inside the latrine. So I filled the can up with water, and I was on my way to the latrine, and I saw a stray dog just outside the latrine, crouched down in the wall there, and I was about 3 or 4 feet away. So I shouted at the dog. We discourage stray dogs from hanging around here because of the rabies problem. So the dog didn't respond. I shouted again. The dog didn't respond. So I thought, well, I'm going to throw this water on him. And I was just about to throw this water on the dog, and the dog looked up, and I looked into his eye, and I saw such misery in this dog's face. And I thought to myself, this dog is not bothering me, and it appears to be sick. I'll just let it rest. It just looks miserable. So I didn't throw the water on, and I went in and I came out. About 10 minutes later, Muhammad Must was in the back sink there, and then the sink has a drain, an open drain down the side of the wall. That dog saw the water running down the wall and became furious. Ran at Muhammad, bit him severely on the leg. So it was obviously a mad dog, and there were other reports that earlier in the morning the dog had attacked a cow and jumped at his throat and bitten him. And the way the dog was walking after that was very peculiar. It would look one way and kind of walk the other, and it was uncoordinated and in a bit of a frenzied state. So we knew that we had to take Muhammad for shots, rabies shots. It was very likely this dog was mad. So we got him in a car and took him to the civil hospital, which is quite a scene there. You see the expression on the nurses and the doctors' faces. This is the patient. Let's see. Okay. So So they gave him an injection, and he's very strong. He must be about 80 years old. He's very strong physically. He wants to be. The nurse started giving me these injections. And these injections are painful because they're given in the abdomen, and they're a large amount of medicine, and they burn when they're injected. So the injection was being administered, and he turned around and grabbed the nurse's hand, grabbed her wrist, and just removed the syringe. But then he was calmed down by Padre and all of us. Took the injection and was brought back and took the latter course of the injections. Here, Padre gave him some. But I feel that perhaps I was the one to be bitten. Had I thrown that water on that dog would have bitten me. I was hardly 3 feet away. So Muhammad was then dressed twice a day. The wound was looked after by Padre. He was given homeopathic medicine. Daily change of dressings. And the wound healed beautifully. There was hardly any scar of that wound. And it was a very severe bite. Just missing the bone. Like, this is a little incident that happened a couple of months ago. This was a small incident that happened a couple of months ago with Muhammad. I was in the process of cleaning my room, and at that time there was a lot of other things going on in my life, and you could call it a major house cleaning. Things were being tidied up and thrown away, and it was kind of reflective of what was going on with my life at the time. So the first day, and I'm really in the mood, and I'm getting into my room cleaning, and because once it starts, then it's good. The difficulty is starting the process. So I was happy about it, and I was straightening up my room, and just then Muhammad calls me. Oh well, here goes half an hour or whatever. But he called me in and called me near and gave me a bar of soap, which he rarely gives anyone. He will ask for soap, but he will rarely ever, I've only seen maybe 4 or 5 occasions throughout the years that I've known him, to give anyone a bar of soap. He called me in and put this bar of soap in my pocket. He insisted that it be put in the right pocket, not the left pocket. Or I forget, maybe it was the left, but it was a particular pocket. And I was just to open the pocket, and he would put the soap in my pocket. So he did that. And then he let me go. He said, now you go. So I went back to my room and I just kept the soap in my pocket. Oh, sometime after that, maybe an hour or 2 after that, I was feeling quite all right. I was feeling fine. I was happy that my room cleaning was going on. And suddenly, I felt terribly nauseated. Just felt like vomiting, and I went and I vomited and felt better afterwards. Gee, just like a storm or something was taking place, and it passed away after I vomited, and I felt much better. Then I took the soap out of my pocket and said, well, after my room cleaning today, I'll have a bath and I'll use that soap. And I used that soap, and I had a very great sense of well-being after that. I felt as much better than normal as I had felt terrible earlier in the day when I used that soap. I don't know if there's any significance, or this is just my experience. This is what I experienced. This is an incident that took place several years ago. Now, musts are able to withstand inclement weather and they rarely fall ill, if ever. This is what we read in the Wayfarers. And over the years I've noticed that Muhammad Mast is rarely ill, but there have been a couple occasions which he did fall sick, for whatever reason. And his position is unique in that Baba called him, kept him, and he's been here for a number of years. And Baba would say to the others, "You have no idea what great work he's done for me." So he's not a typical Mast, and perhaps his suffering is in some way connected with Baba's work, I don't know. But he did fall ill. He doesn't use a mosquito net, so he's bitten by mosquitoes a lot, certain times of the year. There are very many mosquitoes. Well, after several, years, I suppose, of being bitten, finally he was bitten and developed malaria. Now, to get him to take even a pill, a vitamin pill or an antibiotic or an anti-malaria pill, very difficult. If he doesn't want to do something, no one can make him do it. Not even Padre could make him if he was determined. So he would be given homeopathic treatment. And Padre was really a master homeopath in the treatment of intermittent fevers. He was practicing before antibiotics, before many of these sophisticated drugs. So he gave him some treatment, but he wouldn't respond. He would have severe rigors, chill. He would have to be held on the bed. He would almost shake off the bed. And he would get this twice a day. The times would change, but he would have every other day he would have these attacks and change the medicine, and he was still not improving. So this went on for almost 3 weeks. And high fever. He would get 104, 105 fever. Then Padre said to me, "Have you noticed he has involuntary urination during the heat of his fever?" And I thought to myself, well, yeah, 105 fever. He's probably 75 years old. It's not uncommon for even young people to be semi-delirious with 105 fever. It didn't strike me as unusual. But to Padre, who was a very observant person, his trained eye and his experience with homeopathic medicine told him that this was a significant symptom. He said, "But have you noticed it only happens when the heat of the fever is present. At no other time does he have involuntary urination." And I said, "Well, that's true." And he said, "Look that symptom up in the book." So I looked it up, and in homeopathy we have peculiar symptoms. And sure enough, there it was, involuntary urination during the heat of the fever. And only one remedy mentioned, sulfuric acid. So a small dose of homeopathic sulfuric acid was given. And with one dose of medicine, that malaria went away. He never had any reoccurrence of that fever.